Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we are leaving Nvidia for AMD. And it's one of those things where Nvidia themselves pushed me in the arms of another woman. It's not my fault. Nvidia wasn't giving me what I needed. So we went ahead and got this 7900 XT. Got this on Amazon. There will be a link in the description for the Amazon. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you do buy this from Amazon, then I will get credit for that, and that would be awesome. I would be very grateful for that. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this baby. Take a look at it. We don't need that big old box, but yeah. Oh, dang. I almost freaking dropped it out the other side. All right. Let's go ahead and open this box. Now I know I have a weird way of doing my unboxings that everybody, So here is the little cardboard cutout that we've all seen a million times. Here is the foam. I know this GPU is not. Oh my gosh, man. That is a freaking monster. Okay, so let's go ahead and set that box down because we know there's nothing in there. Look at this thing. Whew. Lots of wrappers. Oh, look. It's got like 6 pieces of tape along the bottom with little blue pull tabs. 1, 2, 3 little pull tabs. Nice little bag, all nicely folded and everything. Let's pull that baby out of there. Let's look at this monster. My gosh, it's almost as tall as me. It is definitely taller than the Xbox Series S. Still not as tall as the PS5. But it is way more. It's 5 times more powerful than the PlayStation 5. Coming in at 51 teraflops of pure computation power. Go ahead and pull the sticker off of that. We don't really need a sticker. Now this here is... Wait a minute. So I've seen a whole bunch of them that had like this gray looking back. This one here is not like that. I've seen a lot of those that had a gray looking back to them, like this really heavy heat sink on them. So this is definitely a different model from the other ones. Pull off that. So this has got that Merc sitting on the back of that. Look at that, man. That looks pretty sick. That actually looks cool, man. I'm kind of glad this isn't that one with all that silver on there. I didn't know what to think about it. Still got the little switch right here for boop. Still got my 2 8-pin plugs. This was something that was very big in my decision, was the 2 8-pins, because my pre-built doesn't have that room for that. So I mean, now let's see if this bad baby's gonna even fit. Oh gosh, PlayStation 5 is always in the way. It might fit. I guess I could just shave that part off if I have to. Yeah, this is all plastic. Everyone that I seen on the things they were talking about it being aluminum, this is plastic. This back plate, the back plate's metal, but this cover right here is plastic. That bad baby's plastic. Ooh, got a lot of cooling in there. A lot of cooling. I think it's gonna be just freaking fine, man. So obviously, I didn't delete my drivers just yet. I'll be deleting my drivers. I'll be plugging this in. I have no work tomorrow. Let's see. We got four slots here in the back. It looks like we've got DisplayPort, HDMI. So 2 of these are going to be, and then look at that. Like this one here. Like it is silver on the back there. Nice little fans. It looks like that light is going to light up. It does look like that will light up. there's no way that there's no way that I'm going to be able to get this in my case with that support bar on there. There's no freaking way. Like that support bar, that little thing is not going to fit on there. Why does that feel, that looks pretty chintzy. Anyways, compared to like the ones that I seen them pulling out of the case and stuff, maybe they just had like their cameras like super zoomed in or something. But you know what, man? I am going to be doing some really cool video tests with this card because I want to. I want to give AMD a fair shot at being, you know, my new GPU. Like I do. I want to give them a fair opportunity because I mean, I've been a PC gamer. I've been playing around with PC gaming now for about a year. So I want to give AMD that proper chance before I fully commit, because this here is that turning point. Honestly. And this is why I bought this card. This is the turning point for if I decide to become like a PC gamer, you know, more like get more into it and become more what's the word for it? And become more like just like put it as not right now. It's really secondary. PC gaming is very secondary to me right now. It is not the way I consume my video games. I'm still a console gamer. I play 90% of my games on the console, but I do get like a second copy, you know, on the PC for certain games so that I can really push it and like really see, you know, what the difference is. And I'll be honest with you, most of the time, visual wise, it's so comparable. Like I don't feel like I'm at a visual disadvantage when it comes to my games, especially playing on this 1440p monitor. I have the Series X hooked up to the monitor. I have the PS5 hooked up to the monitor. So most of the time, I don't feel like I'm at a disadvantage. Either way, it looks pretty good. Even on this Xbox Series S, visual-wise, it still looks pretty good. So I never really feel like I'm at a visual disadvantage until I start getting to certain games, because there's certain games that I really like to play and I really enjoy playing at higher refresh rate. My racing games are the one thing that I play the most on the PC is the racing games. And now that I have the AMD card, I mean, I got this pretty much in preparation for Starfield. I don't want to play. I will play it. I will test it out on the consoles, but I want to try to get the best performance I can. And with that having the and with that being AMD sponsored or exclusive or whatever, that just kind of makes me feel like we're going to get something really cool, you know, software wise from AMD for the launch of that game, like FSR 3 or something. So I'm really curious to try that. Another thing is Forza Motorsport. Forza Motorsport is going to be very demanding when it comes with ray tracing and all of that stuff on the Xbox, and we're going to get 60 frames a second. With this card, I should be able to push that game to the max, and still get a really high frame rate. So that there, because I play most of my sim racing setup is hooked to my 4K TV. And that's literally all I use that for now. I don't play a lot of games on there. So this card essentially puts me in a position for the rest of this generation. I'm hoping. You know, there's a lot of people that just discredit AMD right out of the gate, and I don't want to be like that. And I'm not going to sit here and trash Nvidia to try to make AMD look better. Like, I will never do that, because let's face it, Nvidia makes a solid product. I haven't ran into a whole lot of issues with Nvidia. The biggest thing is being the only problem I really have with Nvidia is the baked in obsolescence really quick. Like that 3080 should have had enough VRAM to push 1440p. That's my biggest problem with that. I couldn't even push 1440p on certain games with that 3080 because it was VRAM limited. So that right there, and coupled with, you know, Starfield coming out as an AMD exclusive, the fact that Forza Motorsport's coming out and my sim racing equipment is hooked up to my 4K TV, that all right there kind of just accumulates to a point where I want to give AMD a shot. I want to see what they can do. And this card right here, because I already know the experience I'm going to get from Nvidia. From Nvidia, it's either go home or go big or go home. If you do not buy the top of the line Nvidia card when it comes out, for me anyways, I mean, if you're like a hardcore enthusiast and you want, like, if you don't want that instant obsolescence with Nvidia, you have to buy top of the line, and that's the way I feel. Because if you look back at the last generation, you had 8, 12, and 8, 10, and 12 VRAM allocations, aside from the 24 gigs that came on your 3090. So if I had a 3090 right now, it would pretty much be okay. Like, I wouldn't need anything else. I think a 3090 would be just fine for 4 to 5 years, whatever. I mean, like the 4090, yeah, whatever. But the 3090 would have been good for at least a generation or two. Like, it would have been fine. The 40 series cards, I'm not going to go out and build a whole new platform for a 4090 without trying AMD first. I have to. Like, I have to. I owe it to myself. I owe it to my community. I owe it to everybody to give AMD a fair shot. This card right here performs on par or better than a 3090. So like I said, if I bought a 3090 right now, I would be sufficient. Like, it would be fine. I would be able to do what I need to do. And the fact that this card performs better than that in most cases, I think I'm a little bit better off right now. And I said this with the 3080 too. Like I did. I said this with the 3080. I said this with the 3060 Ti. I've already bought four separate products from Nvidia. The MX 350, the 3050 Ti, the 3060 Ti, and then the 3080. $700 for, well, 700 and what was it? Well, $840 for this GPU. Puts me in a different, puts that in a different category for me. I haven't put a lot of money into it. I don't really need to upgrade my CPU to really take advantage of this card just yet. I am considering the AMD 5800X 3D. Like, I am considering that, or even possibly going up to a 5950X if I get like too much bottleneck or whatever with this card. Like, I'm pretty confident that this is going to turn out to be an okay experience for the most part. I do like the way this card looks. This is made by a Chinese manufacturer from what I've gathered. I've done a little bit of research on this post purchasing it. I spent a lot of time, yesterday and today really looking into a lot of stuff for this. And I got to tell you, man, like, I do like the fact that this card came with that Merc. That looks a lot cooler. That looks a lot cooler than what it did before. Like, this card does look significantly better than what it was going to look like. And I'm pretty happy with that. Let me see, what does this say on there? 20 gigs, 7900 XT. So yeah, this should be pretty cool. I'm hoping that this turns out to be really, really good. Like, a lot of them people were like showing you this, and gosh, this card just looked a lot different from all of those reviews. This looks definitely redesigned for sure. It's still got the Radeon up here on this little tag, on this little sticker up here. You can barely see it because it really does match. Oh, there you go, Radeon. So, I mean, that's cool, man. Like, I'm excited about this. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm really excited about this. I cannot wait to try this graphics card. I need to download the software. I'm going to upload this video first. I need to download the software. And then I want to go ahead and, because I'm going to play around with it all day tomorrow. As I'm learning the new Adrenaline software, as I'm learning how to record video and do all of that stuff, I will be making videos. I will be putting those out with my impressions on there. I'll be doing some Forspoken. Let me pull up. Let me do my webcam. Oh no, let me just make this a little bit smaller for you. So let's make this smaller, and then let's do screen. All right. So the games I'm going to try tomorrow for you. I'm going to have some Forspoken. Going to have some Marvel Spider-Man. We're going to do some Wild Hearts. We're going to do some Right on the Edge TT. Well, I get well over my max with just the 3080 on that one, so that one's not going to really matter too much. I will do some Gotham Knights, some Ghost Recon Breakpoint, some Hogwarts Legacy. Let's see what else did I have in here. Some Monster Hunter World. Like that one maxes out pretty good on the 3080, so that shouldn't be too big. We'll try some Only Up. We'll take a look at Only Up, and then 6 Days in Fallujah, of course. We'll see how good that one will run on there. And then and I'll get you some Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Because I started a new game on that. I'm playing as the female Eivor. I'm actually liking that too. That's weird. Like I'm actually liking that. So I'll do some Assassin's Creed. I got some other Ubisoft games that we're going to be trying in here. I'm going to pull out some Riders Republic. I'm going to do some Riders Republic now that I'm not VRAM limited, now that I'll be able to max it out and see how that runs with everything maxed out. We'll do some Forza Horizon 5. Might actually end up doing some, actually I got to re-download all of that, but maybe even some Flight Simulator tomorrow. We'll try to put together some, I'll try to put together some good benchmark videos for you, and I'll run everything. And this is the way I'll do it. If it has FSR, I'll put it on quality. If it has, I'll put it on quality and max out the settings. Like everything will be maxed out settings running with the 5800X. I'll go in there. I'll make sure the Smart Access is enabled, and everything, all of that stuff in the BIOS. I'll make sure, you know, that I'm pushing this system with 32 gigs of RAM at 3200 megahertz. I'll make sure that I'm pushing this, because this is something that I could see most of the people in the community coming home with and like being like, yeah, I just want to, like, I can see the community doing this. When these other guys run all these benchmarks, they've got like the top of the line, all the equipment and everything. And that doesn't really tell us what some of this other stuff will be running at, you know, like the 5800X, you know, if you bought yourself a pre-built, then that'll put you in a different category for what you can really expect for what you can really expect out of this hardware in terms of what you're going to, in terms of what you can expect. And because I'll tell you what, this PC now, with this card in there, this card's $840 if you get it now on Amazon, so that's $840. But if you're, and with this build, you know, I've put more money. I've put some, you know, $400 SSD into it and all of that stuff. So that takes this machine that I've bought up to what, like 29 now, about 29 for this specific build. And then as time goes on, this card is good for me, because this is going to dictate where I go from here. If I go back to Nvidia and get the top of the line, or if I, and because I'd have to build a new platform for that either way. And it's going to decide if I try, you know, if this runs and works really, really good, maybe I'll just stick with the AMD for a while. But I don't know. I feel like I don't want to be on the Nvidia hamster wheel. I don't want to be on the Nvidia hamster wheel, just mindlessly buying every Nvidia thing that comes out, because FOMO with Nvidia is freaking strong, really strong. Like I was sitting there struggling. I'm like, man, you know, and their new 12-pin design. There's just so many things that Nvidia did to kind of push me to have to look at the other side, because I got this pre-built, what I'm working with. You know what I mean? Like my options are kind of limited, so it's kind of cool, man. Like I like this little rabbit hole that I'm going down. Like I do. I like this. I feel like it's forcing me to get better, to learn more, and to be able to bring better content to the community. So I love this. Like I'm freaking excited about this. And I hope you are too. If AMD makes a good product and they give me solid performance, like, you know that I'm going to be on the honeymoon phase. Like, you know that, and you know that, like, my content is going to be like, is going to be good. But I'm going to tell you right now, just so that you know, a lot of this stuff really doesn't, like, a lot of this PC stuff really doesn't excite me as much as it did when I first started, because we're pretty much at a peak with visual wise, and I was already seeing max like visuals with the 3080. So and the visuals are not significantly better than what they already are on our consoles. So when I look at that, when I gauge what I'm playing on my consoles versus what I'm playing on the PC, and I'm seeing that, like, hey man, the visuals are still pretty close. Like, it's not that big of a freaking Like it's really not that big of a difference, especially if you're playing these games, in the quality mode. If you're playing them in the quality mode, they're pretty much looking pretty close to what you're seeing on your screen on the PC, unless you got ray tracing. Ray tracing is the biggest thing that separates that. And performance and ray tracing on the 3080, it wasn't great. Performance on this is probably not going to be great because ray tracing is very expensive. So at the end of the day, most of the time you're going to look at it and you're probably going to turn it off. Anything under a 4090, you're probably not going to be running around with too much ray tracing. You're probably going to turn it off. To be completely honest with you, you're probably going to turn it off. The fact that the RDNA 3 has better ray tracing capacity than it used to means that I should potentially get my 3080 performance with ray tracing enabled. So that's fine. Like I was already getting that. So I'm not losing anything. If anything, AMD's product is getting better to the point where now I'm able to use that stuff if I want to and still be able to turn it off and get way more performance, which pretty much when it comes to PC, that is the main thing, is performance. Because you always hear the PC guys always talking about the performance. And without Nvidia, nobody would be talking about ray tracing that much, because Nvidia, that's the stuff that they're pushing now, DLSS and, ray tracing. And to me, while those features are cool, like I like them, they're not bad at all. They really do do a good job. But the fact that you have to buy the top of the line Nvidia to really be able to use that and not get a major uptick in like performance and everything with that, that's kind of devastating, to be completely honest with you. That's fairly devastating. So, and I will be trying out Witcher 3 as well in that benchmark. Witcher 3 will be a part of that. We will do the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and get you some footage. Now I won't have any of the 1080p stuff going with any of this. This is going to be, I'm just going to focus on just the 7900 XT. That's all I'm going to focus on. I'm not going to pull the card out and put it back in and do anything like that. I'm putting the AMD card in and we're going to go from there. We're going to go AMD for at least the next 8 months to a year, because that's about as long as the 3080 lasted me before I FOMO'd myself into buying another card. That's how long it lasted, and that's the thing that I'm trying to help you in the long run prevent some of that by showing you the difference and letting you decide. Because if you go AMD and you don't go top of the line, or if you go Nvidia and you don't go top of the line, it could get costly, man. Like it could get costly pretty quick, and every 2 years, depending on if you have to rebuild your whole platform to upgrade to the newest, the new top of the line, that might be worth it for you. A couple $1,000, but gosh dang, dude, like most of the people in the community, like we're all at different levels of income. Like we are. And for me, I'm fortunate enough to be able to do this, and be able to look at this stuff and show you guys. And I'm grateful for that. If this community hadn't grown as big and as fast as it has, I wouldn't be able to make purchases like this. It's because of you guys that gives me the ability to be able to justify stuff like this. Because with the ad revenue that I make from YouTube, I mean, I do give it to my wife, but still that kind of offsets some of the money that I spend on this channel. So it kind of works out to the point where I'm making enough in YouTube to be able to buy a little bit more stuff than I normally would have. And that is the only reason, guys. Like I don't have this addiction to keep just buying stuff. I do buy a lot of this stuff for the channel so that we can all check it out, so that we can look at it, so I can help you and be able to check some stuff out for myself, because that's awesome. And that is the biggest benefit of having this channel, is being able to do that and being able to look at this kind of stuff and be able to learn a lot more than I would have just been another one of them stupid little console fanboys forever. But I do think a lot of people that watch this channel are older, and I think that a lot of us want to know more of this stuff, and we just want somebody like us to be able to show us this stuff without, everything feeling like it's always just trying to get us to FOMO and stuff like that. Like I don't want to make you guys FOMO, and I've told you guys that multiple times, but I do. I know I create some of that. So all right, my friends, I'm going to go ahead and drop this video and then start working on everything else that I need to work on. And we'll see you guys in the next one. This will be the last video tonight for sure, because after setting all this up, I'm not going to be able to do another video tonight. So this will be the last one tonight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and have a good 4th of July, my friends.